Well, good evening, fellows, and happy Tuesday to all of you. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. Hope everybody's getting some flying in because the winds here have been not fun, and now they're calling for rain for the next week, I think. So, is what it is. But I did go yesterday and fly a couple of times with my friend Bill and hung out and had a pretty good time. Winds were straight down, man. They were kind of stout, a little cross and quartering, but we were able to get a couple of flights in and just flew some easy stuff just because the it's been a while, so wanted to warm up the thumbs a little bit. And yeah, so that was nice just to be out at the field, kind of get my head out of the game for a while and just be out there and enjoy the sunshine and the warmth. It was nice. But guess you guys know that we do have a special guest here tonight.
I hate to interrupt this program, but I have to do it. I've been gone a month. The only place I've been is 7-Eleven, hot dog stand, hamburger stand, and I've been in jail for 30 days. Now I'm back, minus a dad. Matter of fact, it really didn't hit me till tonight. I always call him an hour ahead of time on the show, and I always talk to him for an hour, and then I was going to call him, and he's not there anymore. So anyway.
Yeah. So never take it for granted, guys.
Yeah, so don't take it for granted.
If you haven't called your dad, call your dad and tell him you love him.
Don't call him, you know what? Just call your dad.
Call him and tell him hello. And
that's right.
Just talk to him.
Because he used to say, how come we can never talk like this when you were younger and I was younger? I said, because we're male.
Exactly, yeah.
I said, now that you're weaker and older, and I'm older and stronger and wiser, now we can put all that to the back burner. And he goes, no, I don't believe it. It's just like crazy because you call me and we talk for 3 hours and we're not even talking about anything. Like two ladies, we need to check for panties. So I don't have them on. Maybe you have them on, but I ain't got them on.
As you get older, you appreciate that time.
Well, that's just it.
That's what it is.
Man, when I left California, I kid you not, he cussed me out when I left because I was taking everything away from him. Not like taking away, but when I was leaving, I was taking the grandkids and me and the business and everything, going 3,000 miles. And he was going to be left with nothing. So he didn't know what to do. And that's what he did. He just, I'll never come see you and I'll never do this and I'll never. Well, that's just typical him. Matter of fact, at the funeral, I was the last one to talk. I said, I get up there and I go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the silent part out loud. My dad was the most unreal individual, and the whole place just was laughter because they knew exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. No one was going to say it, so I figured I'd just get it over with and break the ice. So they all knew exactly what I was talking about because they call him Bulldog. He doesn't back down for nothing, dude. He bites on them. They go.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he did. That's old school. So I think, he was born in 1941, and then I came along in 65. I think that was created in a 56 Chevrolet in Vegas in a parking lot, and they were broke and they couldn't get home.
Oh gosh.
So anyway, that's how I came about. My mom's side is educated, my dad's side's are drunk, so I'm an educated drunk. That's how I look at it.
Well, we're glad you're back, man. I am anyway.
I'm glad to be back because I am literally lost. I went to the hamburger shop. I went to the hot dog shop, and I knew everybody there. They knew all my name. I didn't even have to order. They just got it for me, and that I knew everybody. I didn't give them $5 because they treated me so nice down there. I ordered something different. I always go in there and order a double hamburger with no cheese, right? That's just what I like from the hamburger joint. So I go in, and my sister wanted one with cheese. So I go in there. I said, yeah, I'd like a double hamburger with cheese. And they go, you don't eat cheese. What are you ordering a double hamburger with cheese for? I said, it's not for me. It's for my sister. Damn. So anyway, he didn't eat for 15 days and didn't drink and this and that. It was just a horrible thing to watch him just dilapidate before your eyeballs. So it's just not fun in any way, shape, or form. I mean, he was going for the record. The record was 21 days, and I told him, I said, you don't make the record, you're going to piss me off. He got to day 15, and so it just, there it was, and the body was shot and everything wasn't working. You can see everything shutting down, and it's just not a fun thing to go through. I mean, literally life stopped, and I've been gone almost 30 days. I mean, I don't even know if I have a job yet. I haven't even talked to anybody at work. I don't even know if I have a job. So
we still have a job here. So that's all.
All right. So what am I giving the petties or what am I doing?
Anyway, well, we're working on airplanes, so
Oh, I hadn't even thought about an airplane since I've been. I can do. I mean, literally, I have been. I don't go anywhere outside the house beside the hot dog,
And
hamburger.
then I start
the
busting his brain the minute he walks back in here tonight, you know?
It's just not having to cut my hair. I was supposed to cut it before I left, but I only had enough clothes for a week. And she goes, "You better stay, because if you don't stay, and I think he's gonna," and she was right. And then it was that week. Well, it was a week after. But 15 days without food, I mean, man, you can lose a lot of weight.
Yeah, well, and like they say, you don't miss what you got till it's gone.
Oh, so yeah, it is what it is, but it's part of life.
Yep,
so anyway, right. I'm here. I'm back. Right. I haven't even thought about an airplane. I mean, I get here and he's already telling me all the problems that he's having with this. He was all proud of himself, saying he did this great. Oh, I got this done. I got that done. I got this done. I got that done. And he's all proud of himself. And then all of a sudden, one retract won't come down. And you can't get to the retract because it's all covered by the skirt.
My skirt and wheel pants.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. So he goes, "What do I do?"
Exactly.
I said, "Well, let's take it apart and let's find out right now. Yeah. Does it have enough voltage? Does it have this? Does it have that? And I'm not on crack. I didn't take any dad's medicine. It's just I have to unload right now because I've been gone so long. Exactly. I haven't been able to talk about anything to anyone. I mean, I got a bunch of models at my house, brand new, never been used. I'm trying to give them away.
Oh, Lord.
And my kid is 27, 28 years old. And I go, "Hey, man, you want one of these?" I said, "It's free." And, typical family member, "Well, Dad, I really don't, I really don't do the airplane thing." No kidding. I've only bought you 20 of them and you don't want nothing to do with them. I said, "I didn't expect you to change." He works for the most richest kid in the whole entire world that makes more money faster than Bill Gates and Elon Musk. He's the fastest.
He just gave $15,000 to pick community college.
Well, would you like to know how much he's worth now?
I wouldn't know where to guess.
So this kid, which is Mr. Beast, which my son and him went to school together, he started his YouTube channel, went his way after graduation. My kid went to work for Chick-fil-A. At least he's out of the house. But this kid went to start his YouTube channel. He has the world's largest, over 400 million subscribers, okay?
God.
He's only 29, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's worth $1.3 billion. Billion with the B. And he's only 28, 29 years old.
We need to come on and tell him to come on the Poor Man's Show.
Hey, I'm Ashtray Aviation.
I mean,
I look for crumbs that fall off the table.
Exactly.
I don't go buying big old things. I mean, I couldn't afford all this stuff. Ain't no way.
Well,
but we fixed the problem. We got this retract undone and we did some magic. He waited for me so he didn't burn anything up. We did get it out. And it has something to do with the double reduction gear unit. Either one of the gears busted off and it's binding. If it'll draw so many amps when you go to raise it or close it, and then it'll draw too much, and it's got that safety device in there that blocks it. So you could see something was grinding. And when you hear something grinding in there, there's no salt and pepper.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be a gear drive doing this all the way down.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Something's funny. It's never even been used. We've only cycled it 10, 15 times.
Yeah, brand
all
new.
Right, I got it all out of my system. Okay, you can take over.
Okay, so with that, as you guys know, thank you, Tim. We appreciate the sunshine, man. Always appreciate the sunshine. It's going to be a rainy week here, so we love it all. As you guys know, and you saw in the premiere, we have got a special guest with us tonight, and he has got one of the most beautiful B29s you guys have ever seen. It's a Mac Hodges model that he has totally redone. It sounds incredible in flight. It looks real in flight. And if you've seen the videos on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. And that is Mr. Thomas White. And we're going to bring him in here, guys, tonight. And we're going to talk about this beautiful airplane. Let's see. Let me hit this right here. There he is.
How's it going?
Up, man? Got the X1 back
How
there.
you doing, man?
Oh, crap. Y'all weren't supposed to see that yet.
Yes, you are. We know somebody that has a OnlyFans page and knows how to set the background.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, we're into airplane porn, so this is great.
Yeah,
we love it.
So, how are you this evening?
No complaints. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, man. Glad to have Wayne back in here. As
Glad
you
to
heard,
be back.
He had to
Thanks
ramble
for having
on for
me.
a minute, but it's good to have him here rambling.
5 minutes.
I've been doing this for a month without him, so I'm glad to have him back. But
you don't know what
Be quiet then.
yeah. But I'm sure a lot of the guys here have seen the videos of your beautiful airplane. What is it? Plane Fun RC was in Fredericksburg, Virginia last week and shot some amazing video. Give us the lowdown, man. Tell us all about this plane.
Oh man, where to begin?
Beginning.
Right. So we picked it up just over a year ago. It's February last year. Put it in storage for a couple months. Then about the beginning of May of last year, we really started kind of going hog wild and stripping it down, sanding it all the way down to basically bare fiberglass balsa wood again. Made repairs that we needed to make to get it structurally sound again. Did mostly a lot of modernization. We put smaller, higher torque servos in it, which saved a few pounds. And like changed a power box wire instead of a conventional heavy duty servo wire. Newer motors, newer radio equipment. Got it ready for paint. Painted the center of the fuselage and the top of the wing. Did a whole lot of faux metal work to it to make it look like it's brushed metal, and then painted the bottom of it and spent a couple of weeks getting it all put back together and ready for flight. And that pretty much took us to the beginning of December of last year. So it was about 8 to 9 months of just elbows deep hard work between me and my son getting the thing going and ready for
And you're
flying.
still working a full-time job this whole time?
Yeah, still a full-time job at the same time.
So the airplane is your wife and your wife is your mistress.
Basically, yeah.
So
She has
I mean,
her own thing, so it keeps her busy.
So when you acquired this plane, there's not many of these out there, are there?
It is the only one that is left.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay. And it's a Mac Hodges, correct?
It is. It's the last of the two 20-foot models that they had. And
Wow.
it's the infamous Warbirds over Delaware model.
So your pucker factor is real high when you fly this plane in many regards, right?
You know, honestly, I've flown so many odd airplanes in my 30 some odd years in the hobby that I don't get very nervous with much of anything anymore.
Oh, that's good.
The B-29 is kind of the outlier in that, to where I don't get nervous until after I've landed.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's just, it's a one-of-a-kind airplane. And, I mean, it's literally the hobby's airplane, because if you see anybody who's been in the hobby any length of time, they know the Hodges B-29. Even if they're not in the U.S., they know the airplane just
Yeah, I
because.
remember the old one.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a thing to where if anything happens to it, there's not going to be another one to replace it.
Oh, come on now. You'll rebuild it.
I mean, I'm dumb enough that I probably would.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got your son to blame for this airplane?
We do. It's technically his airplane. I just own the landing gear. And the
Technically
engine and
his
all that.
airplane. How much did he put in it? How much money does he have in it?
About $30 of sweat equity.
There you go. Someone that's
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. So, does he fly it yet, or is he flying planes yet?
Yeah, he's been flying. This is his third summer that he's really been in the hobby, and he's really making quick strides. I mean, you know how kids are; they just pick
Yeah,
stuff up
yeah.
like it's nothing. We've tried to get him to fly it once or twice, and he's very hesitant and hasn't
I bet.
decided to do it yet. So I'm not pushing him to fly it, but he definitely needs to at some point.
Yeah, that thing flies way better than anything he's ever flown. It's so stable. The moments are so long. It's so heavy. No wind is going to really affect it. I mean, that's just a monster. But he thinks in his mind, I can't. If you can fly something this big, that will be nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing he's flown so far is his Zeroli Hellcat that we rebuilt 2 summers ago, two winters ago now. And he's also flown my 1/5 scale F-16. So, I mean, he's got his hands on some big stuff, and he's always amazed at how much better they fly compared to his little homies or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's getting him out of his head and getting him into something and a little bit more comfortable.
How
is
old
the
is he?
issue. He's 14 now.
Wow.
What were you doing at 14?
I know,
I don't
right?
want to know what you were doing at 14.
Yeah.
No.
It wasn't
What's
flying an
this?
airplane, that's for
Wow,
sure.
this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually on the other side of the table right now building a little 2-meter glider that he picked up
Oh,
at
cool.
Fredericksburg.
Awesome.
How did you get him involved? Because I've tried all my kids, all my family, all my friends.
Mine
I can't
won't
get
do
one
it.
person
Yeah.
involved.
You know, it's kind of weird. We built a trainer when he was about 5 years old, and he would go out and he would fly maybe once a year for about 15 seconds. Like, okay, I'm good, and he would never touch it again.
Huh.
And then 3 years ago, we went out to Warbirds over and Classics over Fredericksburg, and he wanted to go with me, and he was 11 at the time, and we went, and he met a couple of kids, and just that was what it took. And he's just ever
So he
since
got
he's
bit,
like,
right? He got bit.
oh yeah, he got bit. I don't know if it was because of the kids that were out there that were really interested in the hobby, and he kind of
Well,
like
regardless of what it was,
or what.
a switch was flipped.
Yeah, my bank account has been on him.
Oh, yeah, but you're looking at it wrong. you want lawyers and jail time, or do you want to buy airplanes?
That's
true.
He's going to have. You're going to become what you hang around. I knew this. I don't care what color you are. I don't care. Your culture doesn't make any difference.
Right.
You're going to become what you hang around.
That is
So
very
that's
true.
one of the reasons why I moved out here to North Carolina from LA. My kids became teenagers and they started to make bad decisions. And I'm going, well, I haven't changed anything. And they haven't changed anything. It's the environment I had them in. I had to get them out. And they're all pissed off because I uprooted them out of their friends, went all the way across 3,000 miles where they don't know anybody and this and that. And they're all mad at me for a year until they got new friends and And they said, Dad, it's really good that we moved back here. I said, that's right. That's because I'm not your friend. I'm your dad.
Yeah.
Friends and dads are different. You have to learn this. Well, they didn't understand that. So each one literally came up and said, you did the right thing. No kidding, Sherlock.
Thanks.
But anyway, you got
me.
fit. And we say that the hobby picks you. You don't pick the hobby.
That's true.
It's true because no matter even if you leave the hobby, it's this claw that's just stuck inside you. Anytime you see a hobby shop, you're like,
yeah. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
there's no more hobby shops anymore. It's all, over the internet, this, that. You got little ones here and there. But, man, I remember in the day, Hobby Shack took all my money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it makes two of us.
Yeah, because my dad was, where are you at? I said, hobby shop? I knew it. Hurry up and get your butt home. We got to. Anyway, he always knew where I was. I wasn't at the drug dealer. Actually, it was a drug, but it was legal.
Exactly.
Yeah, but when my wife sees me go pick up the wallet, she's like, oh, God, now how much is this going to cost?
Yeah. Well, that's what we always say. We hope our wives don't sell our planes for what we told them we paid for.
Yeah. We're in trouble.
She knows pretty much everything I've paid for all of my stuff, and she's never said a word to me.
Wow.
Surprisingly.
Well, I tried to hide one time. You know how you kind of slip one through? You won't know it?
Yeah.
Made a mistake, huge mistake. Of all the mistakes, you don't do this. So I'm buying my first turbine, right?
Oh, God.
All right, so it was like $2,800, whatever it was. Okay, so I was on the PayPal. I slipped it on over. I said, okay, the money should be there. He said, great, thank you. We'll ship it tomorrow. Blah blah blah. It wasn't 10 minutes later. Hey, did we just buy something that's $2,800? I said, well, I don't know. Let me check. Oh, shoot, what am I gonna do? Oh man, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I forgot to change the account. I sent it on her account.
Oh,
oops.
Yeah, so that didn't pan out too well. She didn't even care. She doesn't even know what it is. She goes, $2,800 sounds pretty expensive. Nah, I'll get my money back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
anyway.
I just sold one of my jet kits, and she's like, so how much of this am I getting? And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
You're getting a husband that won't go anywhere, won't go out on you.
All right. Exactly.
What's that worth?
Yeah.
You're always in the shop. You're at home. Hey, can you bring me something to drink? Can you make me a sandwich? And she gets all, you know where I am all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you go home and you're in, the pole position strip club and
Yeah.
you got airplane money. You're buying servos, glue,
motors,
tape,
engines.
motor. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So what's the overall weight of this airplane?
Yeah, what is the weight?
It's right at 116 pounds, ready to fly.
Ooh, so you got your LMA and the whole deal?
Yeah, that was LMA is always fun to go through.
Is it the LMA 2 that you had to get?
It is an LMA 2. I think it's anything over 78 pounds.
Yeah, right.
And
what's the maximum you can have on an LMA 2?
125.
So you're right there.
I got enough to hang a couple airplanes and some smoke systems in it. And that's about it.
Wow. I just seen today on Facebook somewhere, some dude over in Japan built a full-size Zero.
I saw that too.
And he got in it and moved himself around on the runway with him in it.
Yeah. I've seen that one too.
That's crazy.
Massive.
Someone's got more time.
Like the Mustang you were going to build that time.
I was building a half-scale Mustang. It was 20-foot wingspan.
Okay.
I got a picture of it. It's not pretty, but I didn't finish it because I started doing the engineering part and seeing how many servos it's going to take, and I seen the weight, and I seen the LMA too, and I seen all this. Ain't nobody around. Well, I ain't no engineer.
Yeah.
So I gave it away to the guy that got me started on it. He didn't have the money to order the plans on the internet. He goes, dude, all I need is $89 to order these plans for the half-scale Mustang. It was just a bud nose and blown up twice. So 102, it was 204.
Yep.
Anyway, the plans come to my house, and I had them all stretched out, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, man, the wing cord's like this thick at the, I'm going, dang, and the retracts are 2 foot long. And I'm going,
yep.
Who's going to afford this? I mean, I'm Ashtray Aviation. That's where my money comes from, Ashtray Aviation. But so anyway, I couldn't handle it anymore. I just gave it to him. I said, here, look, I cut all the parts, and I did all this, and I took it. He hasn't done anything with it either because he's broker than I am.
I know, right?
So it sits over there in the corner.
Yeah,
So,
I've had
like,
people. I've had people ask how much it would cost to redo, like,
More
build
than
a
you got.
B29 this size from scratch, and
30
I mean,
grand, 40
uh,
grand,
double that or triple it.
60 grand, 90
Yeah,
grand.
I would say your landing gear, you're looking at $10,000 to $20,000 alone because
how
it's
big are the landing gear on this thing?
the wheels are 6.5 inches in diameter.
God,
That's for the mains. I believe the noses are about 4 inches in diameter, and
wow.
the gear itself weighs about 12 pounds for the three of them. I mean, they're a shoebox full basically per gear, and to
Wow.
have somebody do that stuff custom with even CNC stuff, I've tried getting custom gear made for other projects I've had, and just 2 or 3 parts that are fairly complex, they want $10,000-$20,000 per part.
What's the shop time when you're hunting for CNC to get done? What are they charging you shop time?
I haven't looked in quite a few years, but it was running about $197 an hour.
Yeah,
Plus,
that's what
So
I
it's a
plus,
good 250 now, 275.
yeah, plus programming. Depending on the part, the programming was anywhere from $500 to $15,000 in programming or something ridiculous like that.
And that's why my P51 is rotting in the corner.
So,
Yeah. I've been told by like my buddy Merlin Graves, who passed away, his number one rule with big airplanes is you never start cutting wood until you got the landing gear in your hand.
That's true, because that's the crown jewel. That's where all your money's going to be.
That's where all the money, and that's where all the time.
That's crazy. We'd love to see a picture of that if you have one.
Of the gear?
Yes.
I've got one floating around somewhere, I'm sure.
I know you do. Because you're always taking pictures of your wife, not your mistress, your wife.
I'm sure there's some floating on the Facebook page.
Let's just make sure you get not mixed up.
Yeah.
So the metal work that you did on the plane, the video that I saw the other day, using the metal and brushing it with steel wool and everything, that was really cool, man. That really made that plane look amazing.
It's exactly what we had in mind from the moment we picked up the airplane. We wanted to make it fairly simple to repair if we needed to,
Right,
and not add a ton of weight. And I absolutely hate doing body work. Sanding is like the thing in the world that I loathe the most, other than winter. And with that vinyl, it really helps fill in. It covers up a lot of the inconsistencies and lack of body work, and it hides a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And it turned out phenomenal. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Everybody that's seen it is just awestruck.
Oh yeah, in the air, man. That probably looks like a museum piece.
Yeah, when the sun hits it just right, it's
just
amazing.
glistens, come on by. It sounds so good when it's come on by. All those cylinders. So that's a 240. You got 8 cylinders firing, right? 50 cc's a piece.
Those Stinger 125 Pros are.
Oh, so they're 60 some cc's a piece.
well,
sounds good, man. When I watch the video, that sounds so clean. Just
they've got a lot of bark to them.
Yeah, that sounds great.
man.
How did you know where to set the throws for your elevator, ailerons, flaps? Did they have it set up on the plans?
Nah, what plans?
So the plan was, I hope this is good enough. Is this good enough? So you just went like this, right? Yeah, that looks good.
I pretty much program stuff by feel. I put as much deflection as I can on every model I get for high rates, and then I program exponential dual rates just by more or less experience. I mean, I've got 3 airplanes that are 15-foot wingspans or larger. I've got an additional 2 that are around 14-foot wingspan. When you film this big stuff, you kind of get an idea of what works and what doesn't. And the B-29's rolls about the speed of a Cub with a snail flying it. It's just a very lumbersome and slow airplane. Yeah, it's full aileron the entire way through the roll, and you're just sitting there counting, hoping it makes it all the way through.
Do you see any flex in the wings when you're doing your ailerons? You know, like the B-17, it's got that flex where they have to counter it.
I've been told you can see the flex coming out of the loop. I'm a little too focused to pay that much attention to it.
Yeah, you're flying You're flying a $100,000 airplane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a big airplane, and the nerves are there, whether or not they're showing or you're feeling them at the moment, but they're there. And I mean, I'm more worried about flying the airplane than worried about little stuff like that.
Because when you lose your focus, that's when mistakes are made.
Yep. Yep. And we've only got 6 flights on the airplane right now, so it's still
What's your longest flight?
Most of the flights are about 4.5 to 5 minutes.
Oh, that's plenty. You're mentally drained by that time.
Yeah, and the engines are still getting broken in because I break in all my engines flying the airplane. I don't do test stands or anything.
Yeah,
so they're very, very rich.
Kind of tight.
Yeah, and they're very, very rich. So they run through. There's 32 ounces of fuel per engine, and then about 4.5 fuel.
How much fuel do you have left over?
Oh, you about half it. About half.
Oh, so you got plenty of time. I mean, you're just conservative.
Yeah, I mean, more or less, yeah. I think once the engines are fully broke in, you can start leaning them out on the high-end needles and stuff. You'll probably get a good 8-minute flight and still have a third of a tank of gas left.
Right. Yeah, because when you throttled up on that flyby, you can hear the gurgling. You know, he's cleaning out, which is great because that's exactly what you need.
Yep.
Well, it really sounded like you knew what you were doing when you were tuning them, right? You just tuned it by ear, right?
A lot of that is all in your throttle servo setup and your linkages.
Yeah.
I spent the better part of 4 days getting all of those throttle servos and linkages exact. I mean, they're within half of a millimeter on the linkage links to where they're basically all identical. The servos are all mounted in the exact same location for distance from the
same throws, same distance, same everything. Yep. I mean, there's no slop in those things. They're probably too tight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a clevis on, there's a ball link on one side, clevis on the other. We're talking about even like the angle of the servo arm.
Right. Yeah, it's got to be identical.
They're all identical, and you can hear it in how the engines run. There's a little bit of burble between them. You can hear them go out of sync a little bit, but that's mostly engine tuning, and it just differences in the carburetors at the moment.
Do you tune all your engines down to the lowest RPM one?
Honestly, I haven't had to do anything. From the moment I started that thing up the first time, we had to richen up the high needle on every single engine about 1/8 of a turn. And how
are you at altitude? Are you at an altitude where
you're about 1,000 foot above sea?
That's probably why, because they probably did at sea level.
Yeah, and I mean, we richened above that 1/8 of a turn, and from the moment we started it the very first time, how you hear the engines in the video is how they were. Like, the sync was that close.
Wow,
that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Well, do you do anything else besides make airplanes? Does your wife have? Did you see your wife every once in a while, or?
Yeah, I saw her up there when I was eating pizza for dinner.
Yeah, I imagine you go through the door. Hey, can you make me a sandwich?
Exactly.
We were out of town all last week for Warbirds over Fredericksburg. We got there on Monday morning and didn't come home until about a little after midnight Saturday. And her and my daughter disappeared for church. And before they even got home from church, we had already left to go to the Hagerstown Airport up in Maryland to see Doc. So, I mean, we were basically gone all last week.
Dang. I do have a question that's off the cuff. Did Phil Camp ask to fly that thing?
Not yet.
I knew he was going to try.
So, basically, where you guys live right now?
We're in West Virginia.
Okay. Well, seriously, man, I told you the other day, we'd love to have you come down here to our Big Bird Warbird Classic. And I know you're going to get out to Bomber Field, which Wayne and I hopefully will be there as well. But we would love to have you come here, man, at the end of September and bring that, because, as I said, we have a lot of planes that are 50% scale, a lot of composite warbirds. It's a big event. We have about 400 or 500 people, which for us is big, you know. And we have a good time. And like I said, you know, Legend is good to us, and we normally have stuff to give away and things like that from Thomas and good prizes. But we would love to have you if you could make it, you know.
We'll see what we can come up with. We've got a lot of requests for big bomber to places.
Yeah, but this one's got to go to the top of the pile because this one's important. You know, everybody tells you that, right?
The hard part with y'all's event is it's the week after Bomber Field.
Yeah. Well, let's see if. Hold on one second.
Oh, I know. Is
that okay? We could do that?
Well, we could talk to Robert.
Well, why don't you introduce it to him?
Yeah.
Just put it out there.
Yeah, we can make it worth your while.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Remember, Ashtray Aviation.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, go ahead. Talk. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell him what you're going to tell him.
Yeah.
You will come.
I mean, if you could be here, we could work something out, man. You know, set you up, whatever. And we'd love to have you come. Our event's only Saturday, you know.
Okay.
But we do have, a nice facility. We've got, really nice field. It's 1,000-foot runway, super nice grass. And we do keep it very, very nice. So,
Okay.
we love to see it.
It's not working.
Our president, actually has a couple of 50% planes. He's got a big F-15
Constellation. He sold that. And that was 20
yeah,
feet.
we have a lot of guys come from. Wow, well, Tim Toutant came all the way from Michigan.
Yeah,
last
he
year.
did. 17 hours.
Yeah. So no pressure, but we'd love to see that plane. At our field, it would be great. But,
Yeah, we'll see what we can work out.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. But yeah, so I mean, again, when you started on this airplane, how did you know where to start?
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's like eating an elephant. How do you begin? Well, one bite at a time.
Well, you don't start in the back.
You definitely don't start in the back.
That's right.
So did you scale out the interior, the cockpit, anything like that, or is that?
No, it's pretty basic at the moment. There's no fancy programming or anything. Scale wise, it's just, at the scale that it is, which is about 1/7, so about the size of a top flight 60 size airplane.
That's massive.
I mean, rivets and stuff you don't see a whole lot. The airplane is not all that scale to begin with, because it wasn't really built to be a scale B-29. It was built to do aerobatics.
Right.
And it uses the airfoils off of an extra 300. There's no washout. There's no left thrust, up thrust, down thrust. It's literally an extra 300 that looks like a B-29 with 3 extra engines.
Wow.
So when we started doing the repairs, the primary thing was structural stuff was first. And after that, it was, okay, what makes our life easier with this airplane? We want to make it to where it doesn't take a crew of 4 to load it, unload it, and assemble it. So that kind of necessitated the need to make the horizontal stabilizers removable, just because moving the airplane around with a stab piece on the fuselage was just a nightmare. We were banging the horizontal stabs on everything.
Everything happens between the doors, baby, and in the shop.
Yeah, so making those removable was a huge priority. And then after that, it was, okay, now we got it structurally sound. Let's start making it a little bit more scale of a B-29. We started working on the tops and the nacelles to make those a little bit more of a shapely figure like they are, instead of the kind of the triangle thing that they were. We chopped the whole front of the nose off of it to give it a more rounded look, instead of a kind of a round that had been flattened off at the top.
Right.
And then we started doing like the gear door stuff. And once all that was done, it was glassing it and getting it ready for cosmetic work. Really the biggest part of building or repairing the airplane really was just removing sheeting and adding sheeting where you took it away, like where the tail had been ripped off. We had to remove 2-3 foot long pieces of skin there from the foam core, which is basically you put a piece of skin up, you trace around it with a Sharpie, then you go in there with a chisel and you just start chiseling the balsa wood out till you get to the foam, and then gluing a new piece in there. And it was a lot of that, and that had to be done, because you can't just put a little 6-inch splice on an airplane that's 14 foot long where it's cracked and expect it to last.
Right. Yeah.
So it was not hard work. It was just time consuming.
Tedious. Yeah. Well, so are the wings 4 pieces or 2 pieces or?
Technically the wing's 3 pieces. The outboard sections are about 8 foot each. And then everything, well, they're about 7 foot, really, 7.5. And then the center section of the wing, which has got the inboard nacelles and the landing gear, is one piece that's joined together, but it's permanently attached to the fuselage.
Ah, okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, so you got to have the whole trailer, and that just goes all the way touching the walls, I would imagine.
It fills a 7x16 trailer with about 10 inches on either side of the wing, between the wing and the wall of the trailer. So wow. it fills up a trailer. That we've got a rack that the wings actually hang on the trailer walls. And then the fuselage rolls in under it, and we have it pretty much goes together in about 30 minutes with 2 people.
That's pretty fast. Wow. Actually, for that size airplane.
Yeah.
I do have one strange question that I deal with. I'd like to know where you are on this. In a project that size, at what percent of the project you said, I ain't doing this no more. I'm done. At what percent did that happen?
Oh, on the B-29?
Yeah.
Actually, I never really got to that point with that airplane.
This is devastating to my case.
But if it makes you feel better, I think we should. You see that little wing up there above the kid's head?
Yes.
Yeah. We got. Well, you can't really see it, but there's a fuselage over there too.
I see it.
That's a quarter scale Focke-Wulf 190 that's been glassed and ready for paint for 11 years.
Ooh, I just pulled my wings off 3 months ago off my 190.
Okay.
But he was only trying to fly it at Mach 5.
Yeah, well, we all have different desires.
Yeah, I mean, I did that with a GB a couple of weeks ago.
I still have my GB. Which one did you have?
It was I think it was sold by Maxford USA a long, long time ago. It was the Super Sportster, the yellow and black one.
Yeah. It's got the elongated, like the second version where it's elongated fuselage.
Yeah, the real long fuselage and the open cockpit.
He's got the flying fat girl.
Okay.
Mine was free.
Yeah, it was.
They were throwing it away. He didn't even want to take it home. Nobody loves a GB, and you always find one guy that likes a GB, right?
Oh, I love GBs.
See?
I love GBs, man. I was doing outside snaps with mine, and that airplane is a G45, probably weighed 35 pounds.
What are you powering it with?
It was a G45 as a NOAA.
Oh, okay.
But it apparently decided one outside snap was one too many, and it decided to remove the wings.
So it literally, you folded?
Yep.
The
wings
you got a little pudgy lawn dart.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever had an airplane where the wings come off and the wings actually built to beat the fuselage to the ground.
Dang.
Well, yours is a Great Plains model, isn't it?
No, mine was a Phoenix.
Phoenix, okay.
20cc size Phoenix 190. I had a 55cc in it.
Okay.
And I had the 2015 AT6 racing prop in it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just put my GPS thing I bought because I wanted to know how fast it was going.
Yep.
You know how you tweak the needle? You're creeping up, you got it fat, and you come back, you lean it a little bit, lean it. Okay, you're sneaking up on it, right?
Yep.
I found the sweet spot, and it was humming. And there was guys there that day, and they were witnessing it. And, oh, boy, that's just great. And that's just great. All of a sudden, both wings parallel. Lawn dart that way. And it was 143 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
It literally crushed the leading edge and then blew it open like tacos.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's pulling them both off. It was the most beautiful thing you ever see you don't want to see that.
I was talking about your GB. Isn't it a Great Plains?
Oh, the CG? Yeah, that's right. Great Plains. The one I have is the 120 GB from Great Plains. That was
okay.
20cc. But yeah, they were just giving it away. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. I said, well, he found out. He just said, well, I know.
I said, Wayne takes anything. Hold on a minute. And I said, hey, Wayne, you want a free airplane? He's like, huh?
Of
Free?
course. It's mine. If it's free, it's me. That's my motto. I'm Ashtray Aviation. But here's the funny part. The last meeting we had all the airplanes out, all the legend stuff, all the big stuff, the L-19, the T-28, the this, the that, the da-da-da, all like 10, 15 airplanes, right? So, everybody liking this, sitting there, and everybody always picks one, right? Whatever it is. At the very end of the show, this guy comes over to me, and I know the guy, and he goes, hey, man, you interested in selling that airplane over there? I go, well, what airplane? What are you talking about? He goes, that airplane right over there. Well, there's 15 of them. Which one are you talking about? He chose the GB. He wanted my GB.
Sure.
Now, there's only certain people that were like, excuse me. Sorry. You're not here for a month, and he tells me never leave my phone on, and he leaves his phone on. So anyway, he goes, I really want that GB. And the only person I've ever found that likes a GB is a little off. Maybe not off. That's the wrong term. What term would you call the person that likes a GB?
They like to torture.
Yes.
But
mine was not a torture. I turned it into electric and got rid of there was no gas, but you can tell it's been tumbled down the runway like 8 times.
Okay.
It must have been 3 different owners because all the different holes that were setting up for all the 3 separate engines. Well, I'm going, everybody says it's a horrible thing to fly. It's just the tail moments are this and that. The first time I flew it, it was almost like a trainer. I'm going, these people lie.
Yeah.
These people are liars. That thing flies great. And it was a junker. It's already been down the road. But I did some mods to it where all the heavy weight and everything, the battery was below the center line to give it the pendulum effect and everything.
Yep.
It flies great. And mine's underpowered. I only got it powered by a 60, a .60.
Okay.
Electric motor, so it's way underpowered, but it's just enough for scale flight. Da, da,
Yep.
da, da, da. And the guy wants to buy it. I go, there's something wrong with you. We're going to get along.
Yeah, I think I'm
It
gonna
is
pick
what
up.
it is. Okay, did you answer it? Is it okay?
Yeah, just my son. I had a bigger name on the other line.
Bigger name on the other line. I don't know if you should have said that.
You know how that works, man.
So, what do you do for a real living that you sustain yourself?
I'm an airline pilot.
Ah, there it is. There it is. Yeah. Where did we go wrong?
I think it was my dad said, "Don't go to college. Join the
it's
company
weird
and go to work."
It's weird how many guys we've had on this show that fly big planes that are airline pilots.
Yeah.
What we do.
Well,
so what do you fly?
I was coming back from LA on American Airlines, and we're coming into Raleigh. And the storms were coming through on Monday, and man, I'm telling you, we were positive G, negative G, positive G, negative G, positive G, and not side to side. No yaw, no none of that. But I'm going, man, is this guy going to land this plane? And this old lady that was sitting next to me, she was sheet white. Like, she's just like this, right? I go, so man, you look like you should be in a casket. So anyway, I just turned up the volume, went back to my movie. I said, well, if this guy doesn't know what we're doing, it's going to hurt. If he does know what he's doing, we're going to make it okay.
Yeah.
Man, we were coming in all over the place. So, man, I checked the weather on there. Yeah, it was 28-mile-an-hour crosswinds when we were coming in, and it was just going bam, bam. He landed it just fine, did a great job. But, that mushy part when you're coming in right there where there's a little bit, you can't make a mistake in that area.
Yep. It's that last 5 feet that everybody remembers.
So what do you fly?
Boeing 757 and 767.
Oh, I love the 757. I flew on the best. What was it, 757? I flew 777 and the 757, and both of them. Well, the 777 is massive. It's like a waterbed. Just
yeah.
Loved it. I don't like the. Well, I take that back. I love the Boeing 737 Max. It's just how it gets the negative reviews because of the 2 crashes and this and that. That thing flew great, man. It's just like a mini waterbed.
I mean, nobody knows the difference unless they look at the emergency escape card or whatever. And
well, can't say nobody because I watched all the guys that were standing at a window at the airport looking out. These guys don't even know each other, and it's all dudes. So something's going on the outside of that window. That's interesting, right? Because all the females are going, "Why is my husband over there?" And they don't even know each other. They have something in common. They were changing the tire on the 737. Well, they were looking at how to jack it up, and you got your point underneath where you pick it up, and then it only needs to be this much, and all the stuff. And they were into it, and they didn't care what was going on. They were into that tire, and there's about 20 dudes that didn't even know each other. And they're all standing there. This is awesome.
Damn.
Yep.
So do you fly every day or just certain days, or?
I have my schedule we bid for our schedules about a month out, and that pretty much tells us what we are going to work. And I work about wintertime about 15 days a month.
Wow.
Summertime it's about 18 days a month just because the schedule changes. We're a lot busier in winter with European international flying than we are in the winter time.
So wait, so you fly away to Europe?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going to Africa this weekend, but I actually decided to extend my vacation by another week and a half. So I've been on vacation since the middle of April.
Dang. That's cool, man. Dang. So what's your favorite place to go?
Right where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, home is always the best place.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's your favorite place right there.
Yeah. We did a staycation this year, and it's probably a good thing because May has probably been the most expensive vacation I've ever had and never left my house. Every day it was like something breaks, there's $1,000. Something else breaks, there's $500. It was just
always
one thing after the next for 2 weeks, and I was just like, dude, I can't even afford to go eat dinner now, practically.
But if you had to pick, I mean, where do you like to go typically?
Winter time, I like to go to St. Martin.
Oh yeah,
down in the Caribbean. I was there like 3 times a month for the whole first 3 months of this year, practically, and it was just amazing.
I heard the nasty side is the French side. Is that true? Is it dirty?
The whole island's actually pretty nice. I haven't got to go out to the French side that much, but I have heard it's a little bit nicer. We stay at a hotel that's literally right there on the beach beside where all the video is taken, and it's all inclusive, and it's a pretty nice layover for us.
Wow. Has anybody ever been killed by all that jet blast that comes off there?
I'm sure somebody has, but not that I know of.
Because they sit there and they're just standing there and like, oh, this is pretty nice. This view's great. And I'm not knowing anything is going to come in a few seconds, and then bam, roll,
Yeah, I
roll,
mean,
roll all the way to the water. It's hilarious to watch.
There's some big old boulders down there at the end of that on that beach, so it would not surprise me if somebody's knocked themselves out getting blown over or something.
I bet.
We were at our fly field yesterday, and there was a Navy, huge Navy aircraft, man. And where our field is, we're about 2 miles from the biggest airport as far as runway length in North Carolina, because it was designed for the space shuttle.
Okay.
And it's over 2.5 mile long runway. And they do a lot of touch and goes with Air Force One, and the A4s were stationed there. We saw an F-15 yesterday come over. But this big naval jet, man, I mean, it was massive, like a 737. It kept doing touch and goes. And I asked my friend, I said, how much emissions do you reckon he's putting in the air right now? I mean, and he was flying dirty. You know, he would come over.
0 emissions. It's all electric.
He would come down with gear down, flaps down, and do a flyover and go back around, circle down, do a touch and go. And that's what they were just practicing all day, man. But that was a massive airplane yesterday. And it sounded good, too, coming over. I mean, it was like I could almost wave at the pilot. That's how low they were, you know? It was cool.
Yeah.
Keep the oily sign down.
Yeah.
We get some C-17s and some Blackhawks and stuff doing training out here in the mountains, and they'll fly over our house. It's like probably 200 or 300 feet above the ground. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know, are you going to fly when you go to Bomber Field? Are you going to fly with the other guy that has a B-52 with a 19-foot wingspan?
I mean, I'm not really scared to fly with anybody. I've told people before with this airplane and other ones, I'm like, look, if you're fine with it, I'm fine with it. It's just an airplane.
Yeah, I fly real ones. You know what you got, man? Yeah,
I cry when I crash my $200.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, have spotters that you trust, that know how you fly.
Yeah,
and you know how they spot for you, and like if they tell you like, hey, if something's going to be a problem, they're going to speak up for you. And, and typically, like, there's really no real issues.
So everything's by the book when that thing leaves the ground.
I'm like that with all my big stuff. I mean, I've got a 3-strike rule.
All that time and money?
Yeah, I have a 3-strike rule for pretty much anything that is valuable to me, whether it's financially or
time-wise.
Or time-wise. And that rule is basically, if we go to a field, you get 2 things that can break. As long as they can be fixed in less than half an hour, I'll fix them at the field. If a third thing breaks, it doesn't matter how long it takes to fix it. If it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, the whole airplane goes back home.
Yeah.
It does not fly. If the third
that's your threshold. That's when you're told, you go, okay, I get it.
Yep.
Put in the trailer.
Yep. Yeah. And I've had that happen with even small jets or like foamy stuff where it's just something simple breaks, you fix it, and then something else happens and you fix it. And then a third thing happens, and you're like, you know what? Just put the thing up. We got other.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
And then you come home and you're like, oh, this whole wing tube or whatever is loose. I mean, like I've found some pretty substantial stuff that was missed during winter maintenance.
Yeah.
Just from that rule alone, and it's like, well, if we would have flown the airplane, it probably would have survived, but it might not have.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's why I say you got to know when to call it quits. You know, I mean, pack it up and go home. I mean, and that's kind of yesterday. You know, I wanted to fly my A-10, and the winds kept getting a little stouter, and they kept, you know, quartering a little bit more, and it's a maiden flight, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not feeling good about it, you know. So I said, I'm gonna put it back in the truck and call it done and go home with it. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's better to go home with the airplane in one piece than regretting what you did.
Yeah, and again, especially something brand new, which, you know, I know the A-10 flies amazing because I had version 1 until I sold it.
Yeah.
But it's just one of them things. Like I said, if I don't get a good feeling, or another thing for me that's a big deal, probably not for you, but I don't like a big crowd. You know?
Yeah, either.
And I don't like a lot of people when I'm trying to do a maiden flight and they're coming up behind you. Hey, man, is that a new plane? Hey, man.
What kind of wheels you got on it? What kind of retracts you got
on?
How much did it weigh? Where was the CG? I mean, I was there. I witnessed that. And he's just freaked. He's like, get this guy off me.
Get him off of me.
Get him off of me. We won't name him.
Yeah. I'm like that if it's a maiden or if it's just the 100,000th flight I've had on an airplane. If I'm actively getting an airplane ready to fly,
back off.
I don't really like people bothering me. I know it's just like they see you there, so it's like, oh, perfect opportunity to ask the guy questions because hey, it's obviously his airplane. He's
but see, that's why he doesn't get much flying done. Because the minute he gets to the field, everybody's, hey Wayne, have you got this? Hey Wayne, can you help me with that? Hey Wayne, you got this part?
I'm the rolling toolbox. Everybody knows what's in my toolbox. I don't even know what's in my toolbox. And they say, hey, I said, you know where it is. They just go straight to it, pull it out. I mean, it's just, I'd rather see everybody fly, have a great day, and whatever parts you need, just take it.
Yeah.
Because if nobody's having a great time, I don't want to be there.
You're right.
And I'm looking at him going, hey, are you
Yeah, he's
fly?
always yelling at me. You going to fly? I said, well, I'm looking for a servo.
I'm trying to help him out. I'm trying to pull him away.
Yeah,
come on,
but
man.
you're loved more for your parts than you are for the
It's
whole.
like putting the L-19 together. We get out there to the field, and that's it takes a little time to put together. So I'm trying to be with him and like, okay, did you check this? Because everybody's coming up to him the whole time, and I'm like, hey man, did you check this? Did you check that? And he's like, oh yeah, but you don't want to be rude either.
You don't want to be rude,
but
at the same time.
But it's like playing golf. There's certain etiquette,
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that etiquette. They're trying to be friendly and they want to look at your airplane, and that's a compliment itself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you just said, when you're putting something together and your mind needs to be on that.
Because all it takes is one thing to go wrong.
Yeah.
Ailerons.
Yeah. That's right. I was at the prime example yesterday. I'm putting my Cessna together. And a new guy comes over and I'm getting everything hooked up in the wing, and guy comes over, and then my friend comes over and he's talking to me, and I'm trying to get. So all of a sudden I get everything hooked up, and I notice my flaps doing this for some reason. I'm like,
good.
So I'm like, I know I hooked it up right. I know brown to brown, I know I got it right. And I kept messing with it and fiddling with it. Come to find out, it was reversed.
Oh.
In the flap. You see what I'm saying? And I know, I told myself I checked it. But I had two guys standing here on each side of me, the whole time. And I knew I probably got a little snappy at one point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they finally walked away. But then I thought, man, don't be like that. But then again, that's a simple thing that I know I checked.
Yep.
And it was wrong,
Yep.
So it's just, again, it's just etiquette. And if you got new people that come to the field and you're flying a nice big plane and they want to walk up behind you like, man, that's awesome. What kind of plane is that? Where'd you get it? Who's it made by? Is that EDF or is that electric? Is it? Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm trying to watch this airplane. Do you mind for a second?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's great. When I flew my big AL-37 on the Maiden, he was there that day. And I took off with it, and I hadn't been in the air to make a base turn. And here comes the guy up behind me, man.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
How much was it? How much is the weight? How fast is it going?
And I'm shaking with the radio watching this airplane, trying to get it trimmed, trying to watch it. I've got a custom paint job on it, Stormtrooper. It looks awesome as hell. They can tell how many hours I've gotten the paint job on this plane. And was that twin EDFs?
Shut up!
I mean, I'm going, somebody help me, I mean,
it's like when you're self-governing, everybody's self-governing, no matter how many rules are at the field, because if you're not aware and you're not concerned about others, you're gonna be like that. And they don't even know they're doing it. And I get it. I understand these people who don't know this.
Yeah.
But when you've been with the club for 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, 9 years, and you're still doing the same thing.
Yep.
There was a guy that took off with his, what was it, F-86? No. Was it F-86? Anyway, it was a big turbine. And everything seemed okay when he took off, but all of a sudden it just didn't right. I mean, his takeoff was good and coming around was good. And all of a sudden he's all over the place. And he's going over the houses, which are a mile away, and he's going over Bojangles, and he's going over, and I'm looking behind us. He's behind the field over everything. And there's a spotter. He ain't doing nothing. And I'm yelling at him. I said, dude, turn it to the right gently and bring it back to the field, because whoever was there wasn't instructing him.
Yeah.
We were going to lose our field if we parked that thing in somebody's house. So I'm thinking about everybody. I'm thinking about losing the field. I'm doing everything I can to get it back. So I finally see it coming back, and I go, okay, now, okay, just maintain that elevation. Okay, bring it right over and keep going. He goes a mile the other way, and I'm going, whoa, turn left, gentle, turn left, gentle. Okay. He's bringing it back. He gets down to the end of the runway, and he runs out of airspeed, and he dorks it. I'm going, who lets this guy fly this thing? I mean, we could have lost our field, could have done this. I mean, it was that important. I'm not thinking about me. I'm not thinking about. I'm thinking about.
Did you hear about the guy that put the boomerang jet right in beside the Wings place across the road a couple weekends ago?
No, dude, I've been in
Yeah,
hospice.
he had a big BBM boomerang jet, and this guy flies really good. And something happened, and there's a restaurant across the 4-lane, and he put it in right beside the restaurant. But he had enough sense about him before it went in to flip all the kill switches so it didn't burst into flames.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so field camp. I saw he was there with you last week.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all had a great time together. His plane is absolutely stunning as well. I'm hoping we're going to get to see him and hang out with him as well in Texas.
Yeah.
And you need to talk Phil into coming to our field when you come. See, and that way y'all just make it a group thing. See, because he wants to come anyway.
He can detour on the way back from Bomber Field.
yeah, exactly. But he's been talking about coming down here actually and flying with us, and we'd love to see him. But yeah, he did a stunning job on his airplane. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's phenomenal in person. Like, it's amazing in pictures, but in person, it's just next level.
Well, I watched his maiden flight, and I could feel his pain and fear, man.
Oh, yeah.
I felt it as he took off that dirt path,
Yep.
you know, and he went for it, and I'm thinking he's not going to take off. And he did, and then he got in the air, and he said, "Man, this thing's a pussycat." You know,
man.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
when he did a second flight at Fredericksburg, it's like it was an old hat for him. He just take off, the flight, the landing, everything was awesome. It was just perfect.
It's just like he's been doing it 1,000 times.
Yeah,
Exactly. Phil's been doing a lot of stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
Just like you, everything's by feel. Everything that you do in the cockpit, you know, by the book, but still, you got that feel. If you don't have that feedback when you know what's supposed to be there, and you pull back and there ain't nothing there, it's panic time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where am I going?
Well, look, man, we're going to wait for some more videos to come out on this airplane. Want to see more flights of it. Can't wait. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Your work is just beautiful.
Absolutely
And,
gorgeous, and great job on finishing it. Just finishing that project is just.
It sounds good.
Incredible.
Now, do you personally have a YouTube channel?
Yes, RC Flight Works.
Okay, so you guys, there it is right there, RC Flight Works. Definitely get over there and check out Thomas's channel.
I'll do it.
And
right
and put a link in there if you can while we're here. In case
I'm not that educated.
All you gotta do is copy and paste in the chat. But yeah, so RC Flight Works, and you guys can see this plane for yourself if you have not already seen it on Facebook or on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the channel because we all want subscribers, and that's what keeps us all going. And you will actually get to see one of the most beautiful airplanes fly and sound you've ever seen and heard. So we just appreciate you being here with us, man, and hanging out. It's been a great time. And we want to get you on here some more. And actually, when you got the plane set up, maybe have you show us the plane in person.
Yeah,
and,
that'd be awesome.
You know, walk around it and look at it, things like that.
Yeah, we'll have to do it earlier in the day or do like a recording and then play it in voiceover or something because it does not fit in my shop.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Yeah,
no, you just do it at your leisure, and then we'll switch it over. You just bring it to us, and then we'll show it.
Yeah,
that way it's not interrupting. Because I know that if you work for so many times and then your time off is so many times, you have every second planned in your life. You probably even got your. Well, I don't want to say it. But everything has to be the way it is. Well, that's the way it is.
Well, and typically with YouTube, you got to be real careful because if you show other people's videos, sometimes they'll strike you for that.
Oh, yeah, that's my video.
So, but that's why I didn't pull anything up here tonight, just because YouTube will hit you sometimes for that, especially during live shows.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I did show the little clip on my phone because that's on my phone and not on YouTube, and that was a personal video. So,
right. Yeah.
But yeah, check out RC Flight Works, guys, and give Thomas a like and a subscribe and let him know you appreciate him in the show. And we look forward to seeing you more on here, man. I think Phil Camp's going to be on here next week. And so we'll be, so we'll be talking with him. So if you're free, tune in and join the chat and hang out with us, man.
But before you go, I got another question.
Uh-oh.
What's your next project?
That's top secret.
They always say that.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I figured I'd ask.
Yeah.
Let's just put it this way. It's all black.
Ah.
First thing comes to mind, long, sleek, lender, and does Mach 4.
But
so do you fly any turbines?
Yes, I've got
Okay.
a couple. I've got a scratch built T-38 Talon. That's all
Ooh,
composite.
that's my favorite of all.
That one is 113 inches longer. So
That's awesome.
Wow.
I've got one of the BVM F-16s, one of their plug and plays.
Okay.
That's kind of like my guinea pig when I want to fly on a windy,
Yeah.
because it's such an amazing flying airplane. It's ridiculous how well that airplane is.
How old is that airplane?
That airplane was one of the very first plug and plays that BVM sold.
And what year would that be?
Probably 7 years old. I bought it secondhand, new to me, and it's got well over 500 flights on it.
Wow. That's awesome.
And that was
I flew
before.
I flew with Bob back in the day in the 80s when it was Duck and Fan days.
Yeah.
And he was untouchable.
Yep.
Back when we were flying, he just came out with the Aggressor and then this and then that, as then he had the what was it, the BVM 72, and then it went up to the 81, then it went to the 91, which Nelson produced, and that was the max peak performance, and he was awesome. He was an A4 pilot in the Navy.
He was.
Yeah, he was. So he had a pretty big ego. He knew exactly where his stature was, and I could tell there was always a difference. I didn't know that time. I was just a kid. I was in my early 20s, but when I saw his equipment, wow, it was awesome, man.
Bob would tell you how it was, or how he saw it, and he didn't care if it was going to hurt your feelings or not.
Oh, you got that right. You hit him right on the head.
You wanted his opinion, he was going to give it to you. And
that's right, whether you want it or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. But yeah,
all right, man, we're gonna let you get out of here and get back to your family.
Appreciate
Thank you
it
so much again, and let us know when you want us to come stay with you and go snow skiing and
snowshoe.
Yeah, I don't go out in winter time, so if you're gonna go snow skiing, it'd be by yourself.
Look, I hate winter, man, but I will go snow skiing. Snowshoes, the only place we typically go for snow skiing around here because it's nice. But I'm dressed for it. I'm prepared mentally. But I hate cold weather. So
there's no preparing for that. I worked 3 months outside in the middle of winter in the Arctic Circle where it was -50 for a high. I've had my share of winter for a lifetime. Like, y'all can have it and keep it.
I don't know how you live in West Virginia then, man. I don't know. That beats me. God,
it's because my wife said so.
There we go. I got you. All right, man. Well, look, we're gonna let you get out of here. You and your son have a great night, and we will see you hopefully again soon. And like I said, hopefully join us next week in the chat with Phil's here.
Yeah, we'll be here, and I appreciate for having me. And it's really we had a great set of sponsors and just people who donated to the project. That's why we got this thing done so quickly. Otherwise, we'd be sitting around waiting for stuff. I mean, Tomas at Legend Hobby, quite a few other donators. Like, it was the community within the RC community really they stepped up and helped make this a reality a lot quicker than we expected, and we can't say thank you to all those guys enough.
Absolutely, man. The sponsors are what helps us all. You know what I mean? So
exactly, especially with big projects like that.
Absolutely, yeah. We appreciate them all. So thank you, man, and thank you for, like I said, you're sponsoring the channel tonight yourself for being here. So thank you for your time and for being here. And we'll stay in touch in the chat. And like I said, we'll hope to get you on here again.
Yep, of course, anytime.
All right, thanks, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you too.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tonight. We appreciate Thomas for coming on here, and it's a beautiful airplane. Like I said, if you have not seen this plane, definitely get over there and check it out. And let him know you heard it here, and give him some thumbs up and likes and good comments, guys, because it's an absolutely beautiful airplane to see, and to hear it fly is totally amazing. So, and like I said, next week, we're going to have Mr. Phil Camp up here talking about his beautiful B-17, and he's got her done. He got the maiden done. I might actually try to pull up his video and show that while we're here, because he was pure shaking when he was flying that airplane, man. You could hear it in his voice. But you did a great job, Phil, and can't wait to see it in person, man. And I want to hear some good music, too. But you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. Get some good flying in. We got some nasty rainy weather coming up the coast this weekend here in North Carolina. So that will get much done. But we will see you next week. And he's back. Thank goodness. And hopefully he doesn't have to go anywhere for a while. And we will see you guys next week, same time, 8:30 right here on the channel. And happy flying. Be safe.